Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katharina. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because there's not going to be any unboxing or review per se, but I want to kind of like have a little bit of a sit-down video with you guys. Basically talking about my recent purchase and experience with Louis Vuitton's quality. So if you're interested in a little bit of a story time with me, go ahead and have a seat and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I think I need to kind of like backtrack a little bit because I think a few videos ago I uploaded a video of me unboxing, my failed unboxing of the Saint Laurent small puffer. And I feel like ever since then I've been I've been in the hunt for the perfect bag, or not really. I don't think there's ever going to be a perfect bag, but the bag for my for what I'm looking for. So because of that failed unboxing, that kind of like led me into doing a little bit more research, and I found something from Louis Vuitton, something that I think would be the, perfect addition to my collection. Unfortunately, this particular bag came in 3 different size, and there's like the the BB, and the mini. I believe the BB and the have been not really discontinued, but I haven't seen them come back in stock. And then the mini is kind of like the newer size, not really new, but newer size out of the 2. So that's still kind of like available. So long story short, I texted my SA. I told him that, hey, I think I'm interested in this bag right here. Do you guys have it in the store so I can come and take a look? And so he said, no, we don't have that, but it is something that we can order. And, we can have it in the store, no problem. You can come and see it. And if you don't like it, we can go ahead and return it. I normally don't like to do any type of like ordering anything unseen, just because especially with my most recent YSL flop. But I really like the bag. And so I said, okay, let's go ahead and order it. And then I'll go ahead and come and take a look at it. So anyway, the item in question, I'm going to go ahead and pop a picture somewhere here or maybe here, just so that we have a little bit more of an idea as to kind of like what bag am I talking about. It's the LOCKME Ever Mini in the black leather with silver hardware. I don't know if they call it palladium, but it is silver. So if you know, Louis Vuitton doesn't really do a lot of like silver hardware, and I feel like for what I'm looking for, it's perfect because it's black. I want something that's in black. I want a silver hardware, something that's a little bit more different, because I don't have a lot of like black in my collection, first of all, but I do have a lot of like gold. So I wanted something different and something that's a little bit bigger, something supple. I had this idea in my mind that I want a bag that's going to be not too structured. I want it to actually slouch a little bit with use. And so with this one, it's not necessarily going to slouch like, say, a Birkin 35 when it's like, used, but it's got enough softness to it that I feel like it's going to do that, especially if you do end up getting the bigger size, which is going to be the BB and the But again, I wasn't able to get those because I feel like they're discontinued. They said they're not, but I haven't really seen them come back in stock. So I think they're going to be eventually. So anyway, we ordered the bag. 2 days later, he texted me. He was like, it's here. You can come and get it anytime. And so I went to the store that day. But then when I went to the store, he was like, okay, so there's a little bit of an issue with the bag. And we tried to kind of like clean it. We tried to see if we could remedy it, but unfortunately it's not coming off. And it's actually the glazing. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. I was not able to take a picture, not because I wasn't allowed to, but because I forgot. So he tried to kind of like clean it. He tried to kind of like push it, see if it's going to go, if it's going to go away, but it didn't. So he deemed it defective. And so what he did was he didn't even let me take the bag home. He said that he's going to have to send it out. They're going to have to send it out to see if they can salvage it or repair it or whatever. So I said, okay. So, I ended up returning the bag. I did take a picture of the bag with me in it just to kind of like see. So I'm going to, again, pop some pictures somewhere here, just to kind of like, show you guys what it looks like. It's beautiful. I think the size it's definitely on the smaller size. It's not a mini that you cannot fit. It's actually more on the mini small, but I feel like I really wanted the BB because I feel like the BB will definitely fit a lot more, right? So there's that. So I returned it and then reordered another one right away. And then a few days, I think 2 days later, it came back. It came in, and so I went to the store maybe the next day to pick it up. And so actually, before I did that, I asked him, "Hey, did you inspect the bag? Make sure that everything is good, no glazing issue, no varnish coming off or anything like that." And he said it's perfect. So he sent me a picture, and I was like, okay, it looks good. There's no glazing issue, but it looks a little uneven, but it could be just the lighting. So I said, okay, I'll come in, take a look at it, and see it in person. And so when I went to see it in person, I could see it right away that on the sides, so there's an evenness. And I will pop again a picture somewhere here to kind of like show you exactly what I'm talking about. So basically, the sides, if they're close, you can see that one side is lopsided, not really lopsided. One side is kind of like coming off a little bit, like it's kind of like it's a little bit more out than the other side. So it's uneven. You can see it, especially when the bag is kind of like snapped. But if you unsnapped it and you can kind of open the bag, it goes away. Like it's not visible. But I don't want to just kind of like limit myself using the bag open so I won't see it. At the end of the day, I know me. I know that it's going to bother me. So I ended up reaching out to him again, saying that, hey, upon further inspection, when I got home and I opened it, I noticed that it's this. And so I sent him a picture, and he was like, oh no, come, bring it to the store. We'll take a look at it. Maybe it's just how the pleating is. Maybe we just need to kind of like rework it a little bit. And so I said, yeah, no problem. And I did try. So that was already like afternoon. I tried to kind of like play around with the leather a little bit, see if I can kind of like push it in myself. But no, it wasn't going anywhere. So I went ahead and went ahead and go to the store the next day. And then he himself said that, yeah, it is the pleating. It's the way that they made it. And so bag number 2 is going to be returned. So I returned it. And so he said, if you really want the bag, we can try to order it again and see if it's going to, hopefully third time's the charm. It's going to be perfect this time and all that. So I said, oh, okay. So returned it, repurchased it. And then again, a few days later, it came in. So the third time, I think when I went to pick it up, my SA wasn't there. Or at least he wasn't there. But I couldn't really wait for him to... Wait, was he there? No, he wasn't there. He was out on lunch, but we were in a hurry, so I wasn't able to kind of like wait for him before I picked up the bag. So someone else assisted me. And so the first thing that I checked for when I saw the bag was kind of like the unevenness. And it was very even. It was symmetrical on the sides, no glazing issue. And the handle was perfect. It wasn't crooked or anything like that. So I said, let's go ahead and I'll take it. The only thing that I noticed that this third one didn't have was the sticker on the hardware. It wasn't there anymore. The sticker on the inside and on the straps, it's still there. So and there's a little bit of scratch, but I'm like, well, I'm going to be using it anyway, so it's going to be scratched up. It's fine. So I went home. I took the bag out of the box and kind of like inspected it a little bit more closer. And this is my fault. I should have just inspected it right when I was in the store, but we were in a rush. But the issue with this one is it's not the unevenness, it's not the handle, the glazing is perfect, but the issue was actually the leather of the flap versus the leather of the body. It looks very different. And I know that they should be made with the same leather. It's probably not the same sheet of leather, but it should be the same. But you can see that there's a difference between the body and the flap. And I know that it's not supposed to be like that because I've seen the first two, and the first two, both the flap and the body had the same leather, same type of graining, no veining or anything like that. Veining doesn't really bother me, but if it's going to be veining, there should be a veining on both the bottom and the top. This one is just kind of like the body had a perfect leather, and then the flap part is not so much. It's almost kind of like the graining wasn't there. And so at first I was like, oh my gosh, here we go again. I am just being overly picky at this point. And so I took a picture and then send it to, actually posted it on Facebook group, and I asked people's opinion, and they're like, oh yeah, no, totally, that's not right. So I decided for the third time that the bag is going to have to be returned, and no, I did not reorder it again, just because it was the whole back and forth, returning, reordering, returning, reordering. First of all, I really don't like doing that. Second, it's such a hassle for him, for me. And it was just like, it got to a point where it's like, I'm almost trying too hard to get the bag. And maybe at this point, it's just not the right thing for me. So I ended up returning it. Unfortunately, as pretty as the bag is, and I wish it would have worked, I am not going to reorder it the fourth time, because I feel like it's just, you know, there's gonna be another issue with it. So yeah, I'm just really sad about the whole situation. But this doesn't mean that I'm not gonna be shopping with Louis Vuitton anymore. I know that quality issue is going to happen with, you know, not just Louis Vuitton, hell, not just in any of the other, you know, brands. It's just bound to happen. It's just sad that we're seeing them a lot more now than before. And then not only that, with the, you know, and the price is going up. So it's kind of like the quality is not necessarily matching the price increases that's happening. So that's just really sad. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below. And if you found this video entertaining or helpful, and if you wanna hear more about luxury and, you know, whatnot, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and then I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Stay safe. Bye-bye.